Do you ever realize how much water you actually use? In Arizona, on average, residents use 150 gallons per capita per day. Sounds like a lot, right? The water usage has actually declined in the recent years, but over the last quarter of a century has slowly been climbing. The little over 1.6 million residents in Phoenix, Arizona depend on a system of different reservoirs and canals, as well as recycled water for their water usage. With the yearly average rainfall being less than 10 inches, these reservoirs and canals won't last very long. They won't go very far. Lake Mead, which is a body of water that Arizona depends on, levels have drastically dropped in the years. From 2013 to 2018, the levels have dropped from 1,122 feet to 1,088 feet. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 35 feet in just a matter of 5 years. When you depend on that water, every foot counts. So what are they going to do, and how are they going to get ahead of this problem?
One of the major drivers of the water management problem in Phoenix is urbanization. Urbanization in Phoenix is happening because more and more places in Phoenix are being turned into cities and towns. More cities and towns means more businesses and more residences. More residences and more businesses means more use and need of water. And thanks to the urbanization in Phoenix, the population is growing. In the past 30 years, the population has gone up 600,000 people, which is very significant. And then you also have to take into account how much water each person uses a day, which is about 85 gallons. The second driver of the water management problem in Phoenix is the drought. The whole West Coast has been feeling the effects of the drought for the past decade now, and it's pretty bad. The rising temperatures are causing us to use our reserves faster than we can replenish them. The rising temperatures are causing less snow to form on the mountaintops in Arizona, therefore causing less runoff to feed the Salt River project. The rising temperatures are also causing insufficient rainfall in the Central Arizona project. The third driver is contaminated water. Contaminated water happens through construction, through agriculture, because of chemical runoff that contaminates groundwater and our drinking water. It also happens naturally because of nitrates. So there's some things we can control and there's other things we can't.
So we know the drivers and what fuels the wicked problem of water management in the Phoenix area, but how do we measure our progress? The easiest way to track our progress is through measuring the water levels of rivers and lakes that provide water to the area. When the water levels in the Salt River, the Gila River, and Lake Mead, for example, are higher than the average for that given month, there is more water readily available. When the measured depth is lower than the average for that month, the water availability could be considered scarce. The current trend for this indicator is that the water levels in these bodies of water are decreasing due to the lack of rainfall in the area, as well as the decreased snowpack in the surrounding mountains. Another indicator that can measure the wicked problem of water management in Phoenix is the population in the city of Phoenix. As urbanization increases and more move into the city of Phoenix and the surrounded area, the need for water increases. This leads to higher usage levels and more water being extracted. If urbanization slows, it is easier to manage the amounts of water that are readily available for the population of Phoenix.
Hi, my name is Dylan, and today I'm going to be talking about the future of water management in Phoenix and where we expect to be in 10 years. So to start, what we need to do is educate the citizens, because us as citizens, we can make a huge impact on just the amount of water that we're using everyday basis. So what we plan on doing over the next few years is running a lot of television ads, a lot of social media ads to make people aware of the problem and how serious this issue is, because if they understand that there might not be a city here in a few years if we're not responsible, hopefully it will sway people to be more responsible. So on top of that, 10 years from now, we plan on having a new technology available, implemented in almost every home. And what that technology is going to do is going to be able to tell you exactly how much water you're using and exactly where you're using it. So for example, let's say you're using 100 gallons a day on shower, maybe you can cut back a little bit and start taking shorter showers and save that water. Another thing that we want to implement 10 years from now is we expect a huge increase in rainwater conservation and the collection of rainwater. What people don't understand, or maybe they just don't care about yet, is that we can save a lot of water just by reusing rainwater. That's fresh water, it's clean water. If everybody did that, it is absolutely amazing how much water we could save on a yearly basis. So the start is to educate the citizens, but it's going to take a joint effort from the citizens and the government to stop this problem. 10 years from now, we don't expect to see any dangers as far as the water levels, and we expect a healthy, thriving Phoenix area.
Water management in Phoenix is a wicked problem because it requires reframing the public's mindset towards water usage, overhauling the existing infrastructure, and demands a change in the entire system. Residents and officials of Arizona must work together to help create a viable solution to water management. A key strategy is to have the community focus on alleviating the problem by monitoring and limiting water use. By tracking water and compiling water loss data, utility operations will be able to better understand exactly where water is going, who uses the most water, and how to stop the wasting of it. This system will be an improvement to the current system as it will help educate customers on the role they play in water conservation. Several ways to conserve water are recycling water by implementing gray water systems, installing rain catchment systems, and having agriculture shift to growing less water-intensive crops and utilizing drip irrigation systems. As stated in an article on sustainable water management in the southwestern United States, the discussion over water sustainability is being reframed by communities that recognize the interdependence of the environment and economy. Communities can implement sustainable water management policies that address the needs of competing sectors while sustaining water for the environment.